that right now the country is going through very difficult times, that we're very divided, that there is a very negative rhetoric, anti-immigrant rhetoric in the country, and that we have mainstream America really looking down on the Hispanic community right now. It's not all, but even the little bit that is existing, all those stories that we hear of, xenophobic acts and attacks against Hispanics for speaking Spanish or for looking Hispanic are the result of this rhetoric. But what I think is that, we have to fight back, and we have to fight back not only in a combative way, but that we also can fight back by simply just telling our stories and by simply reaching out and showing people that we are Americans too, and that we are the same as everyone else, regardless of our accent or our texture in our hair or the color of our skin. We're all Americans too. And I think that approach of not only being combative by calling out racism when we see it, which we should also tell our stories and show that we, put our best face forward.
Well, in the age of social media, telling stories is very easy, right?
Right.
So I'm sure there's people out there that are using the social media channels. What can they actually do to tell these positive stories about Hispanics?
Well, I think it's just one story at a time. We just need to show who we are, what we do. You can change minds, and we have seen it over and over again. Usually Americans, or let's say white America or middle America, has a very negative view of Latinos or Hispanics or immigrants because they don't know us. So when they do, they're getting their perceptions from the negative view. Once you start getting stories out there, I think they begin to know you a little bit better and are more accepting of you. There is a city in Missouri, I think it's called Branson, Missouri, that is giving classes called Hispanic 101. Mm-hmm. And what they're trying to do is they were trying to attract Puerto Rican workers for their upcoming season for a tourism season. Yeah. And they are trying to train people in this community to welcome them, to put Goya products in the stands, to learn maybe a little Spanish. And they realize how important they are as workers, as consumers, as neighbors. So, some people are looking for ways to be more inclusive.
Excellent. And how much has culture affected your journalism career? Obviously, you are, Hispanic, and you have seen the evolution of Hispanic population over the course of your career. So how has those lenses influenced your career?
Completely. First of all, I started working many, many years ago at Channel 34, and I think one of the things that made me so passionate about what I was doing is that I was reporting to a community that I was part of. And I learned very early on in my career that here's a community who, is thirsty for information. They want to know what's going on in their community, in their country of origin, in the world. So our work goes beyond just telling the news and the daily headlines of what happens, but when it happens, and how does it relate to you? Mm-hmm. How does it affect your family in particular? So, I don't think that that's ever going to change. I'm no longer at Univision. I'm now an independent journalist, but my heart and my mind and my mission have not changed. So I think that will always be part of the type of work that I do, and that will always be my mission.
Well, excellent. What do you think of this conference? What has been your impression so far?
It's great. I see that there's a lot of people here, and I think what I see is that everyone is very interested in sharing information, in obtaining information. Everybody's asking questions, and everybody is sort of like that exchange of ideas that we need so much. I think that's what's important about these types of conferences. I think it's not just the social networking, but it's the professional exchange of ideas. And I think that we feel empowered as a sector, at least in this industry, as an industry, when we realize that we're all in the same boat, that we are all we all have the same goals, and in this case is empower our community and put the best face of Latinos forward.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and may you continue being an advocate for our community.
Thank you.